Hi, I'm PrepperMark, and today I'm going to take you to one of my zombie apocalypse bug out locations. No, I'm not prepping for zombies, but just in case we are attacked by zombies, at least I have a couple locations I can bug out to. Now this one isn't very far from home. This is only about 2 miles up the road, and it's on top of a mountain. So I figured I'd take my camera up there and show you what a wilderness zombie bug out area location looks like. Well, whenever I go out in the wilderness area, I always carry a firearm, whether it be a handgun, rifle, shotgun, whatever. Today I got my Ruger 9mm handgun with me. Now I'm not afraid of being attacked by wild animals or being attacked by a bear. Usually when you run into a bear, that bear sees you and he runs away from it. He wants to be left alone, live life in peace. But if you ever do run into a bear that's eating or has a mama bear with a cub, then there's a good chance you might get attacked. But usually that don't happen. And if you ever run into a black bear out in the wilderness area, you see it before it sees you and you're a safe distance away, you want to yell and scream and wave your arms over your head. Just let him know you're there and chase him away, and usually he'll run away. Now if you run into a black bear and you're too close for comfort, you're not in the safe zone, then you want to try and slowly back out of the area without that black bear knowing you're there. And if it sees you, then you want to start yelling and jumping and waving your arms to scare it away and to make yourself look bigger than life so he doesn't attack you. Now if he does attack you and you have time and you have a firearm, what you want to do first is just shoot a shot off to try and scare the black bear. You don't want to have to shoot a black bear unless it's absolutely necessary. Now last resort, if the shot don't work, then you're going to have to shoot the black bear if it means him or you. But always remember, when shooting a black bear, take a careful aim and get them in a vital spot and make sure your weapons has a big enough caliber to drop that bear, or else you're just going to make that bear twice as mad, and you don't want to do that. Now something else I carry with me when I go out in the wilderness area is a pack. Now I carry a pack because you never know what's going to happen out there. You can break an arm, break a leg, break an ankle, what have you. I know a couple years ago I was out there hiking the same spot, New Year's Eve, and the trail was a solid sheet of ice with about 6 inches of snow on it. Now I was kind of leery hiking on it, but I thought, well, my footing seems to be pretty well good here, so we'll give it a try. So I made it up the trail without a problem, and messed around up on top of the mountain for a little while. Then when I started down the mountain, I got about halfway down and I lost it. My feet slid on the ice and I went smack dab down on my right kneecap. And I'm rolling around on the ground there in pain and agony, and I have my dog with me. He's just sitting there looking at me like I'm crazy, but I say. So after going through that a little bit, I collected my thoughts, decided, well, what am I going to do? Am I going to crawl down, see if my cell phone has service, I can call 911, I'm going to hobble down or what have you. So I decided I was good enough to hobble down. I just stayed off the main trail there in the rougher stuff, hobbled down, got home, propped my knee up, put some ice on it. After the holiday was over, called my doctor, went in, had it checked. It was basically okay. But my knee was swelled up for 6 months and it hurt for a year. And I was lucky. I could have shattered that kneecap and be stranded there, or broke my knee, broke a leg. You never know what's going to happen to you, no matter how experienced you are out there. So that's why I carry a pack. It has stuff in there to make fire, make a shelter, some food to last a couple of days. And I have 2 different packs I use for this. The one I have today I'm taking, it's a short range pack. It's somewhere where I'm going on a short little hike, Ain't going to be too deep in the woods. This has enough. This is about the essentials I would need. Then I have another pack that if I'm hiking deeper in the woods, then it has more stuff, more equipment to make better shelters. It'll last longer, more food in it. This more all-round equipment so I could last, a week if I had to, or even longer. So, like I said, to me, a pack is a very important item to take when you're going out in the wilderness area. Well, I'm going to load up here and head off into the woods, and I'll turn the camera back on when I get there. Hi, we're at the beginning of the trail here now. One thing nice about this trail is, if you're in a bug out situation and you're able to bug out in your vehicle, you could easily remove the log blocking the road here and drive right on up. Now another nice thing about this area, there's a stream about 100 yards behind me. Fresh mountain water, full of nice trout, and the stream has water in it year round. It won't dry up in the summertime when it gets really dry. It's all fresh mountain spring water. So the only bad part of it is you have to lug water up and down this mountain, which would be a little bit hard, a little bit time consuming, but it's doable. Now there is a small stream up here, a real small stream, and I'm not sure if it dries up in the summertime or not, but when there's water running in it, that saves you from carrying water. You could use it for drinking, bathing, washing dishes, cooking, whatever. And that'll save you some of the hassle of lugging water back and forth. Well, I'm going to start hiking up here, and I'm going to turn the camera off so I don't bore you with the hike, and I'll turn it back on when I get up there. Well, here's this mountain spring I was talking about. Now it seems to be running pretty good. This is the spot where it comes, well, actually goes underneath the road. The state has a pipe here covered with stones where the stream can go right underneath the road without washing it out. But this is all fresh mountain spring water. You could take a cup, dip it right in there, and drink it without a problem. Wouldn't have to worry about no diseases, bacteria, viruses, anything. But let me just pan around a little bit and show you the area here. Now, something else, there's a lot of woodland around here, a lot of woodland. So you have plenty of firewood, plenty of wood to build a shelter. You know, there's a lot of aspects to this place. Good supply of water. Like I said, there's a stream and behind us, and actually down over the other mountain there's another stream there. So you have plenty of water. Like I said, you would have to haul it a ways, but you have plenty of water. And this stream here, I've only been up here in the fall, winter, and early spring, so it always had water running through it. So I don't know if it dries up in the summer or not, but most of the time you have fresh water here, so you wouldn't have very far to go get it. But like I said, worst case scenario, you always have a couple other places you can go get it. You have to carry it, but there's water to be found. Alright, let me turn this off and continue the hike. Now here's a shot of a mountain spring running in that other little stream I just showed you. Now this one looks like it just comes right up out of the ground. It has no starting point other than just coming right up out of the ground. So here's a nice little mountain stream, or mountain spring. Nice, fresh, cold, clean water. Now hiking up the trail here, this is a spot I found right next to the trail. Now this would make a great bug out location too. Now it's not very big, but it's somewhat flat, it's open, so you could build a nice little shelter in here. You have plenty of forest and woods behind you, well actually all the way around you, where you can get plenty of wood to make a shelter with. And then right back down in here is where that little stream is I was talking about. That's only, 100 feet away, so that'd be in closer yet for water. But it's a nice area, it's somewhat flat, it's open. Be a good place to build a shelter if you're bugging out. Now there wouldn't be much room for making crops, but there's a lot of low stuff over here. This yearling trees, I guess you would call them. That could all be cleared out. Now this ground's very rocky, but you probably could still grow some crops in this ground. I just want to share this spot while I'm on my way up the mountain. Well, I made it up to the top, and here's your zombie apocalypse bug out area. It's a fenced in area about 200 feet by about 300 feet on top of a mountain. Now the fence ain't exactly the strongest, but there's plenty of lumber around to fortify it. All you have to do is cut down some of these trees and you can fortify it. Now what this is a fenced in area for wild turkeys to come and feed safely. No other predators can get at them. So this area here is all flat on top of here. It's don't really have too much in the way of trees growing around here. Some yearlings can be easily removed, but this would be a great prepper's bug out area say if you lived out in the Midwest or out west somewhere where you have grizzly bears, wolves, mountain lions, you could set up camp in here. You have the fence to help protect you, and like I said, you can fortify it with trees you have around here. That way you wouldn't have to worry about getting attacked by grizzly bears in the middle of the night, or wolves coming in or hungry looking to eat you because you're a good source of food for them. But like I said, it's only about, well, I think it's about a 3/4 mile hike up here. And like I said, it's all flat, grassy area up here. Now, I'm not sure how good the soil is. The soil is probably full of rocks. But if you're bugging out up here, you could easily plant a garden of some sort up here. And like I said, it has plenty of timber around. Everywhere you look, it's nothing but trees. And it's not that far from a water supply. Actually, you count that little stream there, there's fresh water there. And like I said, I don't know if that spring dries up in the summer or not. Then back this way, you go down where that mountain, and I say maybe 1.5 miles down that way, you got about 1.5 miles down that way, you have water. You have another stream full of trout. But the benefits with this way is about 2.5 miles down that way, there's a fish hatchery that raises fish. And then up this way, there's probably, I say, about 8 miles, there's a trout hatchery. It raises trout. So you have an extra source of food there. And like I said, these streams around here, they're fresh mountain streams. Water's good for drinking, cooking, plentiful. The water pours off these mountains. I live down at the base of these mountains, and I just have water gushing. You know, so you wouldn't have any problem with water in the area. Like I said, it's easy to get up here. It wouldn't be that bad to haul your gear up here. Like I said, I'm not prepping for zombies, and most people aren't. You're just prepping for a nice safe spot to get away from everything and survive, and this will be one of the spots. Like I said, a big open area. If you have a fenced in area, even if you've got chickens or some sort of livestock, you could put in this fenced in area, and you wouldn't have to worry about predators getting at it or them escaping and wandering away. So there's your fenced in pasture, you might as well say, already there. Plus there's deer here, rabbits, squirrels, turkeys. Down my yard, I get turkeys in there all the time. I just seen some fresh buck rubbings on the way up here, so there's bucks up here running around. Bear, in a couple of days, first day of bear season. I think it's a 3-day season up here. This place will be packed with hunters hunting bear up here. So you have all kinds of wildlife up here that you can use for a food source too. So to me, this is a great place to prep. The only bad thing that I came up with is this didn't have a water source really close. You have to walk and carry. But for a nice safe area, I guess it's worth carrying the water, So I just wanted to show you this, and on the way back down I'll shoot a spot of the trail coming up here. There's a neat little view there, so give you one last look around here. And like I said, if you're bugging out in the wilderness area, this is the place to go. Hi, I'm here right on the edge of that field that I just showed you with the big fence up around. In this area, if you wanted to build a shelter and secluded type area where you're underneath the tree canopy, this here is a great area here. There's a lot of flat areas, a lot of spaces in between the trees that you could take and build some sort of shelter. And then you have the trees, your shelter would blend in. Actually, you probably could build a shelter here and use the field out there for, like I said, livestock, growing crops, that sort of stuff. And like I said, you'd never have to worry about firewood. There's tons of firewood here, and there's tons of trees here to build well, if you have the knowledge and the ability, you could build a nice cabin out here. So, like I said, this definitely to me is a good place to prep. And like I said, the only downfall I can see is this lack of water being right there. And like I said, you can carry that without a problem. It wouldn't be that hard. My philosophy is to get a good wagon. So if you had a good wagon, you could put your water jugs on it, haul the water up the mountain that way. But like I said, this is be a great area to build a nice shelter in. And like I said, you have the field out there for livestock and growing crops. Now this is a trail hiking back down. I just want to stop here and give you a quick view of this. It has some nice views up here. Alright, just want to stop here and give you another shot of the trail going down the mountain. Another look at the view here. Here's another shot of the trail going down the mountain and a little bit of view. There's with the trail. So here's another little shot going down the trail, and nice picture of a mountain in the background there as you're coming down. Well, I just now got down out of the mountains, and I decided to come down to this stream that's right across the road from where I went up the mountains at. Now this is the stream I was talking about. Nice, crystal clear, fresh mountain water. And there's plenty of trout in this stream too. May not look like that, but let me tell you, this stream is loaded with trout. Well, this would be where you could get a food supply. This is where you could get fresh water from. So, like I said, it's a little bit a ways from where your bug out location might be, but it's well worth the walk down to get some fish or get some fresh mountain water.